Archbishop of Radio is back.
DJSbuLive with DJ SBU, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
Poetry. Some beautiful spoken word, which is what you will hear every Monday between 4 and 5 o'clock, the second hour of the show. The first hour is inspirational gospel music, and then the second hour of the show is the spoken word. And namhlanje we've got a guest in the studio. Ngizonixoxela nginitshele ukuthi ungubani. Kodwa she is a poet and a healer dedicated to creating and supporting spaces which encourage Black feminine healing. Most of the poems in Red Cotton were written in 2016 as part of her MA thesis from university currently known as Rhodes in the Eastern Cape, and 2017 when she first accepted her spiritual calling. So welcome to DJSbuLive on a Monday afternoon.
My father fought for you. He gave himself to you. Instead of spending time with us, he lay on cement floors, behind bars, under beds, in wardrobes, behind dustbins for you. He forced my mother up and down from prisons to hospitals to prisons, baby on back, searching for him because of you. For you, my mother nursed, sewed, worked hard when he couldn't work for you, for us, because he worked for you. Because my uncle left his leg in Lusaka for you. Became a child with a gun in foreign bushes for you. His parents worried for you. My mother was raided, covered up, worked thrice as hard for you. Because Umagazi lay on London benches for you. My aunt got kicked out of school, left home hidden in buckies, was locked up in dark cells, counting imaginary stars for you. She lost her love and buried her child in an unnamed grave for you. Even when you abandoned her across the oceans, she gave herself to you. Even when you tried to kill her, she served you in green and black, fist high proud for you. So I expect more from you. I remember when we first saw your face. My mother sang for you. In long queues with ID books and skaftinas, she signed for you, gave her voice to you, understood when Utata said it would take time. With her last cents, she supported you because you were the dream they had for us. So if for no other reason but for her, I expect more from you. More than you, who doesn't even remember her name, who doesn't appreciate that she still signs for you. Years later, neck high in bond and car installments, unable to buy groceries. Even when you took her husband, then tried to hijack his funeral. Even when you rub your theft in her face, she prays for you, gives to you, no longer expects from you. But I expect more from you. More than a limping uncle struggling to get your attention. Poor veteran, still holding on to dreams conjured up in Lusaka. Still believing all those years away from home will pay off someday. I expect more than umagazi ononyanyayo, because your taking never stops. Lifetimes later, unable to pay hospital bills, while you flaunt blue label luxuries and parade yourselves on pedestals behind high walls and tinted windows, I expect more from you, because as much as you gave to us, we gave to you. Always, with our lives and our limbs and our children, we streets or chow me on potbelly stages. We get raped by our fathers, our homes get broken into, and still your taking never stops. We have sung your praises. We have filled your stadia. We have devoted our lives to you. So damn it, I expect more
from you. My goodness, sawubona kunjani sisi wami?
Ndiphilile Nkosi, unjani wena bhuti?
Nkosi nami ndiphilile. Nkosi, thank you so much for making this interview. Siyabulela.
Siyabulela.
Anyone that's listening khona manje, this is a South African born poet and she is a healer. She is dedicated to creating and or supporting spaces which encourage black feminine healing. Most of the poems in Red Cotton were written back in 2016 as part of her MA thesis from University, currently known as Rhodes. And I don't like even saying that name, Rhodes, but anyways, in 2017, when she first accepted her spiritual calling. Sicela ukwamukela and welcome to DJ SBULive on Massiv Metro.
Ndiyabulela uba lapha. Thank you so much.
Bengifuna ukwazi for abantu abangakwazi ungubani siswami, who is this amazing Vangile sister that's sharing such amazing wisdom and consciousness with us before we get into your work?
That's always such a difficult question because it's, you know, it's an always changing, it requires an always changing answer, I suppose.
Yeah, you evolve with time, yeah.
But currently Vangile Gantsho ngumntana kaKholeka noMalixole. I am a spiritual healer, always in training, and I'm a poet and a poetry lover, but I'm also a publisher. So I co-own a publishing press called Impepo Press with two other women, Sarah Gotzel and Tanya Pretorius, and we focus predominantly on poetry at the moment, but that's not where we're stopping. It's just that that's what we have the capacity to publish right now. So we have 4 titles under our press, and that's Red Cotton by myself. There's Feeling and Ugly by Denai Mubodza. There's Surviving Loss by Busisiwe Mahlangu, and Liquid Bones by Sarah Gotzel.
Maybe you can also introduce them to us at a later stage so we can also showcase them.
I would love that. That's definitely going to happen.
Uphuma kuphi, uzalole kanjani, ekhayeni elinjani? Most of our audiences love to hear those stories because we're more about inspiring our audiences.
Ndiphuma eLadifre, a small village called Efalbank in Ngweni. And like I said, I'm the daughter of Malixole Gantsho Myirha. And
Gantsho. I get it. I almost said Gantsho earlier.
Because it's, it's closer though.
Yes,
so
okay.
Gantsho. No Kholeka Mkhwata, who is Mamcicha. And I have 2 siblings. But obviously, you know how black families are. I grew up with my cousin being my sister.
Yeah, now I'm the same.
So, and also, like, I actually was having a conversation with a friend of mine recently about how nuclear families are as artificial as borders, because when we think about how we are raised and who raises us and who we grow up with, you know, and who supports us when we are in times of crisis and who celebrates with us, it's so much more than nuclear family. But anyway, I digress.
It's okay. It's okay to off-ramp and then on-ramp again.
No. I have 2 siblings, 2 brothers. My name actually means Divangea Makwenkwe Kaya Ndwaqubile.
Meaning?
Like, as in I've mixed the boys.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
I'm the middle child, and my grandmother actually named me. She sent it like a telegram which arrived when I was born. It sounds crazy, but where she said Lomdana igama lakhe lizaba nguVangile Fezeka Gantsho, and that's how I was named. And I grew up around the country and in Namibia because my father was a freedom fighter, and he was a magistrate, and then he became an advocate. But and my mom is a nurse, and so I grew up in a very politically inclined family, and we moved around a lot because of the politics. And so when I grew up ish, because I haven't grown up quite. I also became very political, and I actually worked for the ANC Youth League for some time in my early 20s, and so politics has always been a huge part of my life, of who I am, and I guess maybe politics has been my biggest heartbreak. Politics in the sense of the country's politics in the sense of the ANC, and then also...
What is your take on the current ANC?
I mean, this is not the country we lost our parents to and our homes to. This is not the ANC we sacrificed our childhoods for. There's something severely wrong, and like as in kubolile man, kubolile, and xa kubole kangaka wazba, something needs to be cut off so we can start again, so we can build something new. Yeah, I mean, there's so many of us who consider ourselves political orphans, who don't go to other political parties because we necessarily want to, but because how do we stay? Like this is an abusive relationship. How do we stay? You know, I love the ANC with all my heart, and I always will. But that is not an excuse for it to continue abusing me and for me to stay. And
especially our ordinary people, Makaya, people who don't have anything. Yeah. I think that's what hurts the most sometimes.
Yeah, I mean. Even the poem that you guys played, I Expect More From You, is actually comes from a deep sense of that, where I'm like, I come from this family who won't be celebrated. Ordinary people, you know, nobody's going to know who Zanele Maleki is, except she has spent her whole life fighting for the ANC and now has nothing to show for it. Nobody's going to know about Vangile Gantsho ngubani. Kodwa Vangile Gantsho wayequqa izibhedlele nejele ekhangela umyeni wakhe, doing everything she can to put food on the table, because umyeni wakhe was a freedom fighter, and so she understood that this is what we are giving, this is what we are sacrificing for, you know, because tomorrow it will be better. For abantwana bethu it will be better. And so it's ordinary citizens that built the ANC. It's ordinary this idea that government or the ANC is some big shot or some conglomerate of people who sit somewhere up there, wherever there is a lie. Because the ANC is everyday people, you know. It's umakhelwana who runs a spaza shop and hides documents to make sure that she can pass information on. It's utamkhulu Ntobeko who is, you know, driving is korokoro to make sure that people can cross borders, you know, like the ANC is made up of abantu basesilalini, abantu baselokishini. It's not made up of, like, that is not even a percentile of the ANC. And
that's not where the majority of the votes come from.
Exactly.
Especially the country we're in, considering our past.
Yeah.
Talking about that frame of mind, you're here to share with us your talents and stuff from Red Cotton, right?
Yes. Okay, so I mean,
I'm going to take a break. Let's get into poetry. She's got material from umsebenzi wakhe bathi Red Cotton, right? Singawuthola kuphi umsebenzi wakho?
We're available at all major bookstores, but also at smaller bookstores like Bridge. If you're in Gauteng, like Bridge Books and Love Box.
Okay.
But we're also available online, so you can go to Chimurenga. You can also go to our website impepperpress.co.za.
All right, let's go. Here is Sis Vangile Gantsho live on Massive Metro on a brand new radio show called DJSbuLive. She is live right here. Let's go.
Mama, I'm burning for Fezeka Khwezi Khuzwayo. I'm burning, Mama. Mama, I'm burning. In a box, set on fire while I slept. I slept, Mama. A girl faced the bullets head on. She caught the bullet in her eye. She is blind, Mama. Something is wrong, Mama. I kept pulling down my skirt, kept checking my lipstick. I was hiding in this box. They found me hiding, Mama. This fire is an uncle you trusted, Mama. An uncle who promised to watch me while you were gone. And while you were gone, the fire burnt me, Mama. While you were gone, while I was sleeping, I forgot to pull down my skirt. I put too much lipstick on. I'm burning, Mama. Mama, I'm burning.
That piece is about?
I mean, we're going to say that he allegedly raped her and was acquitted, but it was for Fezeka Khwezi Khuzwayo who was brave enough to step up and accuse the then president of the Republic of South Africa of having raped her, and who endured many injustices, truth be told. But this particular poem was written with her in mind, but also during the time of the RU reference list, because I was in Grahamstown at the time and I couldn't separate myself from what was going on and how triggering it is to walk around in a country that continues to hate black women's bodies in particular, but women's bodies in general, to claim to love us and revere us, and then constantly be trying to destroy us and kill us and maim us. And so that's where this poem comes from, I suppose.
10 before 5 o'clock, live on DJ SBU, on Massive Metro. We'll take a break and come back with Vangile Gantsho. You definitely are listening to Massive Metro, and she's got a brand new material from Red Cotton. You can get it from Chimurenga online. You can get some of her stuff. We'll let you know from where, but we're continuing with some of her spoken word, which is a feature we're doing every Monday. Last week we started things. We kicked it off with Makafula Vilagazi, and today we are blessed with the presence of Vangile Gantsho.
Small girl with moths in her mouth. Speaks anger in glances, knows the dagger of words. Small girl, big voice. Moves in silence, knows how earthquakes begin. In the rumbling of her stomach, entire families collapse. Small girl cares too much for such a small girl. Small girl with treacherous eyes. Carries too much feeling in her lungs, knows the sting of lonely. Small girl sees too much, breathes too much, takes up too much air. Small girl is too much mirror and expectation, too much wanting more. Small girl should know better than to try to fight the sun. Small girl with hands of spades. Small girl dreams too much, hopes too much, wants to plant and grow. Small girl thinks she is the ocean. Small girl is a stream. Small girl will break her heart with all this want. Small girl is not even the wind. Small girl must learn to swallow and be pretty.
Vangile Gantsho.
They came to expand their nation under the guise of education. These men traveled treacherous seas, crossed barren lands to save the heathen, civilize our people. Babephethe iincwadi ezinemilomo ebomvu nezipili beshumayela ngoKristu. Bathatha umhlaba wethu basinxibisa ibhatyi sayifunda le Bhayibhile wasindiswa umuntu omnyama. On green, fertile soil they settled, built churches and erected crosses. They sold us milk from our cows, grain from our land, found diamonds in our mines and paid us to dig them up. Ewe ke kwathiwa bazawufika bephethe amaqhosha angena mithunja nebhotile ezinxilisayo. Sawathenga la maqhosha, sayisela ke le bhotile wanxila umuntu omnyama. We were civilized now. From Bantustans to crowded hostels, we had bathed now, had salaries and wheels for transportation. Our roles had changed now, from community members to sources of exploitation. Sasingamaqaba ngoku kodwa sifundile ngoku basikhuphe ezilalini basifake edolophini sabashiya oronta bethu sangena ematyotyombeni waphucuka umuntu omnyama.
The continuous indoctrination of a black child.
It's true.
Are we free?
Listen, what is freedom? I mean, I know that it feels like such a philosophical question, but we have to understand what freedom means before we can ask if we are free or not. And I don't think that the majority of us can even begin to conceptualize what freedom could possibly mean, because we cannot think outside this system that has been created, that we can't see outside this box. This box is this capitalist patriarchal box that is white supremacist, that is continuously oppressive, that has made us so detached from our source of who we are, that all we are constantly trying to do is to fit into it when we need to break out of it. And so I don't think we can ask questions like, are we free? Because we don't know what freedom is.
Are a lot of people even aware of what the controversial conversation of religion has done to us?
I mean, I think we're definitely seeing a spiritual awakening of sorts. By spiritual awakening, I mean perhaps a spiritual questioning. So we're seeing a lot more people say, hang on, okay, ndiyayibona le Bible yenu, and like as in, nanxaki noKristu, but mna ndiphi kule Bible, like as in, just show me where I fit into this story that you tell. Show me what image I was created in. Show me how I am a part of this religious history, and explain to me why Kristu can be an ancestor but umakhulu wam can't. And why an ancestor is only an ancestor if it's called an angel, but not if we call it umntomdala okanye idlozi. Which then makes you question language, like as in, so basically are we fighting ideologies, or are we fighting language? Are you telling me that I will only be enlightened or emancipated if I speak your language? Are you telling me that I have to explain things, understand things the way you see them in order for me to be free, or to understand true enlightenment? Because then there's something fundamentally wrong there, because we're not saying we don't believe the same things. We're saying that you will only believe what I believe if I say it the way you want me to say it.
And it's quite an interesting one, because I have been going through my own spiritual awakening for the past couple of years, and I've stopped practicing a religion that I grew up in, which is Christianity. And obviously a lot of people are mad at me, at my family, but I'm one with my God, and I'm going through my own research and reading and journey, and I'm going back to understanding who I really am. I've even traveled to countries like Ethiopia and Egypt, and finding out more, because I'm going through this journey, and I can see it in a lot of people as well. And when I connect with a lot of people from all over the African continent on the internet, and some of the friends I've met through my travels, we are all going through similar things. And I love this conversation that you're talking about. Maybe you can give us the last piece, and then we can wrap it up and let people know where they can find your work, because I think you're totally amazing.
Thank you so much. Breathing underwater. I'm told my grandmother was a woman of the spirit, that the wind carried her off a cliff, flung her straight into the water where I was born, wrapped in the skin of a snake. I stayed underwater for 60 days before I met my mother. In a burning hut on the mountain, she could enter only to fetch me and put me down, was allowed only to feed me, then return me to the fire. I'm told my lungs are made of water, that a snake coils around my spine, and I carry hives of bees inside my breasts. They say when a girl becomes a woman, she must leave her mother's house, not be afraid of the wind and the cliff. She must learn to trust her breath underwater. Mama and I have never truly touched. Someone's God has always kept us apart. Her in her prayers, me in the water.
What is that piece called, and what is it about?
This is called Breathing Underwater, and it's about exactly that. It's about the disconnect between what we know to be true of ourselves and what we have been taught, and how we can't reconcile these two worlds sometimes. And so we have, like, as in sitlabana nabazali bethu because sibuza imibuzo. And it's a painful disconnect, but it's an undoing of something, because if you think about how the missionaries succeeded and what became colonization, it was that disconnect, teaching children that your mother, your grandmother is dumb because she doesn't speak English. And then you go home and all of a sudden because I can't trust what you're saying. Mommy, it's not bird, it's a bird, it's bed. And so, mommy, you're dumb, like, as in, but mommy, teacher says. And so now it's like, haibo mama, you know, so now mommy is caught up and mommy is saying what teacher says, but you're like, haibo mama, are your bed daga? You know. And so, like, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Vangile Gantsho, where do people get a hold of you, your work, and maybe your social media platforms?
Right. So on social media, I'm Vangi22, both on Instagram and on Twitter.
Vangi with a Y or with an I?
With an I.
Okay.
And on Facebook, I'm Vangile Gantsho. You can also find Impepo Press on Facebook, and then it's Impepo P on Instagram and on Twitter. And our books, you can find them at major bookstores. If you can't find them on major bookstores, just go to our website, www.impepopress.co.za, and we'll arrange for you to get a copy.
Guys, Impepo with the PHO,
yeah.
Impepo, because other people is just P. It's Impepo. IMPE and then PHO, Impepo Press, PRESS.co.za, ne?
Yes.
Siyabulela
kakhulu butwam. Thank you so much.
Vangile Gantsho. Remember the name, Vangile Gantsho. Remember the name?
Vangile Gantsho.